Paragon in PvP still lags behind both new elite specs and Spellbreaker. But as the ancient Chinese saying goes, Dodge! Souls-like Paragon is a build that utilizes the fact that chants automatically activate burst traits to fabricate endurance from building momentum, which in combination with Might Makes Right and Chant of Action pushes our endurance fabrication even further, and on-dodge traits like Reckless Impact and Resilient Roll help us land damage and avoid getting pinned down. We run Berserker Amulet and Rune of Eagle, and top that with Relic of Pirate Queen to subsidize us not running aggressive onslaught. Weapons I tend to run were Greatsword and Spear, but if you are stubborn enough, you can swap either for Staff and still be fine. I ended up running Sigils of Battle and Cleansing in both weapon sets. Trait-wise, Strength 122, Defense 322 and Paragon 222 has served me well. Skill-wise, we run Mending, Doilak Signet, Boost Charge, Signet of Stamina and Signet of Rage. That said, in certain matches, mainly ones with dangerous ranged opponents like Galeshot Virtuoso or Deadeye, or anything with high projectile pressure, it is advised to run Never Surrender instead of Signet of Stamina and Shieldmaster instead of Cool the Weak. It is also more beneficial to run Staff if you already are running Shieldmaster, so don't stray away from it if you think it will be worth it. Just remember, with Greatsword comes mobility and good easy to hit execute burst skill, while Spear provides range, so choose your weapons with that in mind. Now, what does this build do that Spellbreaker doesn't do better? Well, for starters, signature strength of the build from which it gets its name. Paragon has 4 buttons that activate building momentum, one of which also grants Might, and another also grants Vigor. Vigor by default restores endurance, and Might feeds into Might Makes Right, which heals and restores endurance as well. That on top of Signet of Stamina gives us so much dodges we can dodge even the allegations. Moreover, Cleansing Ire makes it so we cleanse 2 conditions whenever we chant, making our endurance fabrication method also keep us condition free for the most part, and Resilient Roll lets us bypass blinds and other conditions that would gimp our damage otherwise. From Paragon line we get Calming Tongue for even more cleanse and Brisk Pacing for more damage. Now comes the problem. We need enough adrenaline to somehow sustain the whole operation. And to our rescue come Brave Stride, giving adrenaline on every movement skill use, Signet of Rage and Invigorating Tempo. These are already almost enough. But also Cleansing Ire, and if we run it, Shieldmaster will generate adrenaline every time we get hit or block something. Now my favorite part, the crazy sustain. Adrenal health heals us for up to 281 every second. Invigorating Tempo heals for 148 for every motivation we spend, which is up to 3 every 3 seconds, and we get up to 530 healing from Chant of Recuperation, which also gives us regen, meaning that we, before Might Makes Right, can passively generate 2000 health every 3 seconds. With Might Makes Right layered on top, and the amount of damage negation we can get from dodges, our combat sustain is good enough to duel pretty much any spec in the game so long we don't get caught in a burst combo, which is why the stun break on Chant of Freedom is such a big deal for us, because we have additional safety net other than Signet of Doilak. Final hurdle we have to work around is keeping our motivation high, firstly for Brisk Pacing, but also for level 3 refrains, as they both give those sweet boons and heals, but also they fuel our adrenaline economy and sustain through Invigorating Tempo, and we can only keep it high through aggression and proactive play. Note that this build does not utilize Call of Action. Therefore, you need to first activate a chant manually before you start getting motivation. But it's not a problem for us, as we like to take the fights slowly and carefully, especially at the start, and we can easily generate enough adrenaline to facilitate that. With little nudge in the right direction from the developers, this build could become genuinely great, and with little more, Paragon could achieve liftoff. We'll see about that when the next patch comes. And for now, happy dodge rolling! And as always, a big sign of gratitude to all the generous supporters continuously considering my dubious quality content worth their money. You're all truly welcome. Crabface out.